Hi!
Live again.
Oh my God, we're here.
We are alive.
How's it going? Oh, we're alive. Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
I
alive
know.
and raring to go.
Yeah, and we've got a whole plan for the podcast, haven't we? As per usual. You know,
have we?
the plan we did.
Oh, that one.
So off the cuff, what's going on in your world, Rebecca?
Well, my world is revolving around being daft enough to be doing a book launch. That's my whole world at the moment.
Well, you've got to do a book launch if you're going to write a book.
Yeah, but the trouble is, Ange, once you've written the book and you've published the book, you're moving on to the next thing.
I know.
So I've got these kind of separate bits in my head. One bit is I need to be promoting the book. I need to be talking about the book. I need to be doing things with the book. And then the other bit is the next book I'm writing and the next project I'm doing. You know what it's like.
Yeah.
So apparently,
I'm supposed to be promoting my exhibition. Moved on.
Yeah. Apparently it's because we're something called multi-hyphenate.
I don't know that word.
No,
this you and your big words.
This is a new thing to me. I think you might be interested in this. It's a bit chicken.
Can I get a jacket thing?
So when you are a multi-hyphenate, it means you do things like, so for instance, I am a psychologist, I'm a writer, I'm a blogger, I'm a content creator.
This is nice.
I'm an artist. Well, that looks cozy.
This might
beautiful
come home with me.
That's beautiful.
This might be coming home with me.
Oh, that is really
Isn't it
lovely.
gorgeous?
Yeah,
it's
gorgeous.
Proper wool or something wool.
It's really lovely.
So, oh my goodness, folks.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice on screen
It's
too.
nice, isn't it? Oh, yeah. See, I didn't even have to look at the size. It fits. Okay, great. So, sorry.
So, multi-hyphenate. It means that we do all these things and we do them all at once.
Yeah.
And we're very good at compartmentalising all these things we do, but we can't be pinned down into I am an artist, I am a writer, I am a whatever.
Yeah. We're just doing lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff.
Yeah.
We are multi-hyphenates.
Maybe
and you know what?
Though.
No, we're doing lots of stuff well.
Yes.
That's what we don't always give ourselves credit for.
Okay, yes.
We are doing lots of things well. We're not doing them in a compromised way. We're giving each project that we're involved in our full and undivided attention.
That's true.
At that time that we're working on it.
Yeah.
And then we might move on to the next thing, and that's getting our full attention.
Okay. I love this, but not to be negative Nelly, I think I'm doing too many things.
Right.
And, you know, I don't know if it's brain fog or whatever, but as you know, lost my bike this morning because I forgot that I chained it to a fence last Friday. And I remembered this morning. So I got to go out into the backyard to get my bike, to get on the bike to ride here. And I was like, where's my bike? And then I remembered that I left it chained up near where I work to a fence that just got torn down by the developers because they're building apartments, even though it was a community building. It's happening everywhere, and it's making me really mad, I've got to say. But, you know, as I said, we had the discussion about the bike. Just let it go. It's a bit small. I've got a bigger bike coming and a nicer bike, so that's okay. And I just felt grateful that I have, you know, food and shelter at the moment because it's pretty dark out there. And I don't mean over there either.
No.
In
Even
Bridport.
Yeah, there is some sad.
Like more homeless people than I've ever seen before in the main streets of Bridport. That's really sad. Anyway, so we're not going to go there, but I sometimes think I'm doing too much. And the things that I need to remember sometimes might slip. I find it really difficult. I did see a video on social media about ADHD, about this poor woman. She's like, I've got kids, I've got a job, and I can't keep track of all the things that you need to keep track of, like PE kits. I mean, you've done this, been there, done that. But PE kits and, you know, charity drives and a bake sale and it's free dress on Friday and have I paid the music fees and blah, 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 blah. So there's 100 things. I mean, it's literally almost 100 things that you have to, like, keep track of when you are, you know, working mum. And I just think it's too much.
So how?
So remember, and where did I put my bike? I better go and get my bike.
So just looking at this for you, from your position, what can you do to simplify some of that? Like, what can you do to make you feel better about that?
I'll just go and do some painting and I feel right as rain. I mean, I've got 4 commissions, so I'm really happy.
So you're happy about that?
So as soon as I finish this, I'm like, someone's knocking on my door later today to buy a birthday present for herself, and she's commissioned me to do a painting. And I just feel so lucky, Rebecca, to be doing what I love. I mean, honestly, I just want everyone else to do that too.
Yeah, that's nice. Oh,
that's how I feel about it, because I can't worry about the stuff, you know. And I mean, to be honest, it's not, I have got other forms of transport, and I've got another bike at home in the shed that someone doesn't ride, which is a better bike than what I had. So, you know, fucking privilege, man. Yeah. I've got loads, and I feel really grateful.
And we did, you know, like we said, we did have this conversation that it would be really nice to think that your bike has actually gone to help someone. Someone has taken it who needs it, who hasn't got a bike, and maybe that's made a really big difference to their life because they can maybe now get to work easier or, you know, whatever. Just having that.
I just need to let it go. I did beat myself up for 5 minutes, and I did cry in front of a group of builders. So, you know, whatever. It's okay. It's all right.
But it's like a micro moment of grief when something goes.
Do feel
even if it's
like
something,
I'm in pain.
Yeah, even if it's something like our bike and we can rationalise it all. We can rationalise all that. But it's that, all of the feelings that go with that. It's that sort of feeling about what a stupid thing you know, for me, it would be like, oh, what a stupid thing I did. Why did I leave it there? Why did I forget about it? Why did I? Blah, 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 blah. Beat yourself up, beat yourself up, beat yourself up. Then get cross with yourself. And then you go through that cross and a little bit, perhaps leading into anger. Yeah. And then a bit of sadness. And all of those emotions go blah, 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 blah. And then, of course, you're going to cry.
Yeah. And look, it's fine.
You can tell I'm a
psychologist,
can't you?
Yeah, I can. It's better out than in. And I did say, oh, brain fog, but actually I've been doing this for years. And once I left the dog, this is terrible. I left the dog tied up somewhere for like overnight, and then went out that night, partied, was in my 20s, and had a party.
So this was quite a long time ago.
It was a long time ago, but I've always been like airhead Ange, a bit vague, you know, because my mind is like somewhere else, which is sort of what you were talking about before, the hyper, whatever that is. My mind is sort of somewhere else. It's not in the practicalities. I mean, I have taught myself to be practical, but if it's something that can be, well, I don't know, leaving the dog, that's pretty bad.
Can we just clarify for everyone, the dog was perfectly fine?
Well, I left it tied to someone's gate, front gate, while I went to pick up my car from the mechanic, so which was next door to this house. So I went to the mechanic, and then because that was like huge amounts of stress, because I didn't know what was wrong with the car, so then he gave me this whole rigmarole of what was wrong with the car, and I just completely forgot about the dog. And then I went and then I drove the car home, and then I was like getting ready to go out, blah, 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 blah. I forgot to go back.
When did you remember the dog?
The next morning when I was hung over his house.
Right. And did you go back and get the dog there?
Yeah. And then the
dog was fine.
The dog wasn't there. So I knocked on the front door of the house, and they said, oh, yeah, we brought your dog in. We didn't know whose dog it was. And I was like, thank you. Can I just say, this is the story of my freaking life. So many times I've said to people, oh, I don't know where this has gone, and somebody has, you know, minded it for me. And actually, there was someone who lived next door to where I chained the bike up that I could have said in my crying state, do you know what happened to my bike? But I chickened out because they're a really not very nice, they're quite aggressive.
Right.
So then
probably
I was
wouldn't
thinking,
have made you feel any better.
Should I have sort of said, so I mean, he's so whatever.
But anyway,
just let it go.
We just need to clarify this in case anyone's listening to this and thinking, oh my God, the dog. The
dog
was absolutely
the dog was fine. So it was a really
Someone
lovely.
Took the dog in, and it was fine.
Yeah, and I did. The house was. They had a little sign on the front of the house they ran a Catholic support group for widowers, and there was a little sign on the gate. So when I saw the sign, I thought, when I came back, oh, these are nice people doing community-minded things. And so that helped. But I kind of feel like everybody does the right thing. Yeah, I really do. I think most people do. I think this is...
Yeah, I mean,
I've been thinking about this a lot this week.
I am very, very much the kind of person that always sees the best in people. And I think when we see the best in people, they are their best.
Yeah.
And conversely, if we treat people in a way that we expect them to behave badly, then they will also live up to those expectations.
Yeah.
So I think, we need to actually be very positive in our interactions with people.
Yeah.
Not in a rah way, but in a believing that we do all just want to get on with our lives and with the world.
Yeah. And they're not really, no one is really thinking except on TV. I mean, I do believe this. I'm going to get that person. People don't, generally speaking, people spend 95, 98% thinking about themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not thinking about you, because somebody said to me yesterday, they were like, oh, when I go and see these people, they're all like cliquey and they don't like me. And I'm like, yeah, it's sort of like, I would maybe call it the school gate rule. So when you're standing at the school gate waiting for your kid, if you're standing there by yourself not talking to someone, and then there's a group of usually mothers, although things are changing, and they're all chatting, you're like, yeah, they're really cliquey. They don't like me. They think I'm up myself, or whatever story you're telling yourself. It's so much bullshit. So much bullshit. And the school gate is the thing. And they're just moms trying to do their best. Maybe they know each other more than I got to know people. I don't know. But then I just thought, I'm just going to be friendly. It's all right.
It's that line. I love that line, Angie. The story I am telling myself, because that's something I so often remind myself when I'm getting drawn in to that.
Yeah.
Oh, what are they thinking of?
Yeah.
It's the story I'm telling myself.
Yeah.
Why don't I just ask someone? I mean,
can I join?
Yeah,
or just conversation.
Or if it's someone who you really think they've got an issue with, so I now just turn and say, look, have I done something to annoy you? Have I done something to upset you? Is there something about me you just don't like?
Yes.
Because I'd rather know than make this whole thing
you're
up.
You're a woman, and I don't like them very much.
You're a mouthy woman that's got too much to say for yourself.
Yeah, stop getting so much in my face. Get out of my face.
Put the kettle on.
That's what somebody said to me the other day. It was like, oh, I'm in your face, am I? Oh, I better go back in my box. Yeah. But they're not thinking about you. And there is so much unconscious bias and stuff going on, which I'm going to give someone the benefit of the doubt this week, as I did. I spoke to you about the person that was making me. They were sort of coming at me. I felt like I was on my path doing my thing, and they were, 3 emails trying to knock me off my path, going, you should be doing it this way. I'm like, no, I'm doing it this way. Is that okay? Like leading the way. And they're so much passive aggressive stuff. I caught on to that. Like, we all think this about you. When people go we
know.
That is like,
we know when they use the we word.
Yeah. Do you know what we think? Everybody says this about you. I mean, it's so, I just like, oh, you poor little baby, because you're really insecure that you have to use that passive aggressive trick. But I'm so onto the bullies. I honestly feel like, mate, if anyone's got bullying problems, mate, I can help you, because I've like got into this. I can deal with them now. But honestly, it's taken me all of my 54 years. I think the first 4 years I didn't have bullies until I got to school. Teachers didn't like me. Other kids didn't like me particularly. But then again, going back to the story you're telling yourself, it was tricky. when you've got so many stories in your head because of big imagination, it's tricky to get the right one to land when you're little. Don't you reckon?
I think it is, and I think it's very, very confusing because I don't think we necessarily equip our children. This may well have changed. I think at my generation, and I'm older than you, but certainly with me, I wasn't equipped to understand that life outside of my little family when I went to school was going to be different. And I had to expect to be treated in a different way. No one kind of warned you about that, do they?
Children shouldn't have to really think about that, really.
They
should be environments where their needs are being met. And
yeah, I mean, maybe they are.
Emotionally, it's a pretty brutal place. I found it completely brutal. Not the same as kinder. Kinder, I felt really loved by those teachers. I also think it helps that I had full days. I mean, I think we're only there 10 till 3 or 10 till 2. But except for sleeping on the rug time, which was 20 minutes, and story time, which I sort of sometimes enjoyed, depending on what book it was. It was very discerning even then. I could do whatever I wanted. I didn't have to go out and play. I could do painting, play, reading, writing. And I remember that choice. I just, she's my life.
Yeah. No, it's really funny because as you're saying that, I'm actually now remembering the nursery school I was at, and it was very much that kind of free, liberal thinking, creative play, almost Montessori style school, where there were just different areas and you could just choose. And like you say, if you wanted to spend all day in the dressing up corner with a pile of clothes
the
on
dressing
top,
up box, I loved it. I love the dressing up box.
And being whoever you wanted to be.
So good. And playing
just
doctors,
going
nurses,
off completely in this imagination.
Yeah, it was unreal.
And I do think that's something that, and we were talking about this, I think, a little bit last night, that introducing play back into your lives as you get older, and something about kind of going through the menopause, or perhaps it's that just your children growing up a bit, or you're having a different view of the world because you're not so focused on that day-to-day, having to get up in the mornings, having to go to do a 9-to-5 job, having all of that stuff. Maybe that's...
Have I got tampons on me?
Yeah, all of that. Yeah, all of that thing. And I'm, like you, I'm being much more aware, but I'm coming back to that playfulness in myself, that just... choosing, if I want to just sit all day and write and not do anything else but write and make a pot of tea, I can actually make the time to do that.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. I mean, yesterday I just took over the dining room table and I was getting all my poems prepared and stuff. Honestly, I loved it. I just felt like, really, it was fantastic. And I like to be able to jump from, whatever I feel like doing. Yeah. I mean, even though I do have work to do with the painting, like I've got commissions, they need to finish them. Mate, I can turn the music up. It's just awesome. It's so good. I love it. Yeah. It is. I feel like I'm as happy as I was in kindergarten. And honestly, those years in between, not so happy. Not so happy because I wasn't allowing like you did with a whole day of writing or a whole day of painting.
It's giving ourselves that permission, isn't it? Yeah.
No, what's that about?
And the world doesn't stop if you just take that time to do that.
Nobody gives a shit. They're not thinking about what you're doing. Nobody's thinking about what I'm doing with my time. They don't give a shit. Everyone's just thinking about, all their own stuff, which is the way it should be.
Yeah.
But I think I felt like there was an expectation that I had to give, that I had to go and save the world, like that I had to be a nun. I had to be so good. Yeah. I had to help people. And now I feel like, I'm a fucking nun. You can help people more by helping yourself. I was being facetious about the nun thing, but I just feel like once you get on your path, it's spiritual, man. It is spiritual. You connect with yourself through the universal, whatever tag you want to put on this crazy energy world thing going on. I feel like it's a spiritual path. You know, if you don't have to go to church, just you're the church, you know. That's what I reckon now. So, and I've got so much more energy. Like, whilst I'm painting today, I'm going to get the 3 shoe boxes for the donation on Friday because I'm like energized.
Yeah.
But if I wasn't doing that, I'd be like, Friday morning, I'd remember about the shoe boxes because I'd be like, ooh.
Yeah.
But you do what you love, mate. You fired up.
And
How fired up was I last night?
Yeah. When you're doing what you love, yes, you're right. You're generating that energy for yourself. But I also do believe that that energy is going back out into the world without us having to do anything about it. And it's really kind of touching other people. And, you know, that there was a woman, wasn't there, yesterday that hadn't read her poems out before. She'd been writing poems. And, you know, she's going to come to the Monday She Talks.
Yeah,
event. She speaks, sorry.
It's okay.
She Speaks event. And, you know, she's now got the...
She doesn't know it yet, but
she doesn't know, but she's going to. No, but you could see she actually wants to.
Yeah.
And she was, in a way, she was asking for your support and permission to do it.
Yeah.
And you give that and you create that space. And it's lovely to do that for people.
I'm so passionate about that. I'm just like, 50 years in a convent isn't going to beat bringing one person out to read poetry that they've been sitting on for 40 years. It's just like, oh my God. Unreal banana peel. So I'm super excited about the Christmas.
Yes.
You know, it's really good. So, yeah. And I mean, if somebody this wasn't in the plan.
Wasn't it?
No, none of it.
Oh, she's got.
No, I didn't think I'd be painting dogs. My God, I never would have got to art school. Wouldn't have got through the interview if I said, "Oh yeah, it's my long-term plan is to
paint people's dogs."
Well, I do lots of other things and I paint lots of other things as well, but I just didn't think I would be loving that.
But there is absolutely nothing wrong with painting things that make other people happy as well as you.
Yeah, but you know, you just got to paint whatever the fuck you want. That's how it's got to be. Yeah. And that's the weirdest thing. If you don't paint whatever you want in a sort of what you love, nobody is going to get it. It's not going to land. And it's that whole thing. Like if you're not inspired yourself, the same with writing a book. If you're not inspired, your readers won't be inspired or your viewers if you're painting.
Although that does bring me back then to what we were saying earlier, that yes, obviously for me with writing and writing a book, you know, it's a big commitment, a big part of your life to put that many words down on paper. So of course you feel really strongly and passionately about it. But then how do you maintain that excitement for that piece of work when your mind's over on the next thing you're writing?
Which is normally
quite hard.
That's the way it should be. Yeah, I think it's really hard. And sometimes I feel like the learning from for me doing this painting for an exhibition and then the exhibition. I mean, a lot of artists, they have galleries and that would do all the promotion for them.
A lot of writers also have publishers that do the promotion for them.
So we're not at that level. No. But there could be some learning in that, if you know when the thing is launched, that you're going to be like onto the next thing naturally, then, you know, there are ways of just taking that into account. I mean, I don't know. For me, to be honest, I do feel like I've moved on, but then maybe there are things that you can do. I mean, for me, if I go there and if I do more paintings, I have to do them in a different way. I can't be just painting the same thing again and again.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what I'm trying to say. I don't know, except in terms of your plans, instead of going, and then I'm just going to keep going with all the marketing, like get someone else to do that or have it. In theory, you can have done all your social media before.
I mean, of course, what I've got a whole
before.
huge folder with all the social media posts in that I don't schedule.
Have you done that?
Yeah, they're all done. I don't schedule my
well, that's
social
pretty
media
impressive.
posts because I do like to be able to pick and choose from the posts. I don't
want
like
to keep it fresh.
exactly.
Yeah.
And also it might just be that I've seen something else that I can use that particular post to respond to. So I
Yeah.
like doing it like that. But I do batch make my posts,
Oh,
which is good.
God.
Which,
Yeah,
that
that's
is
very good. But a marketing discussion.
Oh God, that's boring, isn't it?
I know.
Marketing
But I have
discussion.
been
It's almost like we're
thinking.
wearing grey
I have
suits.
been thinking, going back to that thing that we started with. Yeah, we saw the grey suits as well.
Yeah.
The hyper, whatever it's called. What's it called?
Multi-hyphenate.
Multi-hyphenated. So, I mean, I made it a
No.
adjective.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that the word?
That is an adjective. You are a
Or a
multi-hyphenated.
noun.
You can either be a multi-hyphenate,
a multi-hyphenate
noun, or you can be a multi-hyphenated woman, using it as an adjective. I reckon
multi-hyphenated mammal.
Yeah, I reckon you could even multi-hyphenate and use it as a word, a verb.
Oh,
a verb.
Okay. Is it okay if I multi-hyphenate now?
Yeah, let's.
And ask you a question
Of
about
course.
it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
See, if I use it in a sentence. My question was, should the multi-hyphenated woman get an assistant? It is sort of a marketing question.
I believe
or a small business.
We all
entrepreneurial.
need. We all, as women, we all need PAs.
Or a husband that will do a wife.
What we either need a wife or a PA.
Okay.
So when I was very lucky in my kind of real career that I had an absolutely amazing PA, and Tamsin was just. I would have absolutely done anything for this girl. I absolutely loved her because she changed the way my world was organised.
Right.
She was brilliant. That's what I need in my life right now. I need a Tamsin, but I'm not in a position to have a Tamsin at the moment. So I'm having to have a little bit of myself that's Tamsin.
Yes.
And be my own kind of PA.
Yeah. You need to be your own agent, like Hugh Grant.
You do.
You know, when he was starting out as an actor, he was his own agent. So he used to say to people when they were discussing, I think I've got this new script for you. He would say, can you send that to my assistant or my agent on this email address? And I was thinking that's kind of cool. Like when the woman said to me last night, can you send me your invoice? I forgot I was getting paid because I'm not like that. So that would be helpful. But I think I could have said, I'll get my assistant to send it to you.
And it just makes you smile when you say that too. Because inside you're thinking, I've got an assistant.
So I've got some duties. So at some point I have to be that assistant person to assist myself, because I'm really not great at those billing, admin, boring tasks. But I know that they're really necessary. Aren't they?
Annika Rice used to do that as well. You know, Challenge Annika. Remember Challenge Annika?
No, I don't know what you're talking
so
about. Challenge
Annika Rice is a BBC, a British TV personality type person.
Not on Instagram.
And when she was starting out, she used to pretend she had an assistant and an agent. She didn't have either. And she used to sometimes she'd get a phone call and she'd pretend to be, and she actually made a whole persona. Yeah,
that's what Hugh Grant did. He used to pretend to be answer the phone, and then
he'd have these conversations, and he'd say, "Oh no, I'm really sorry." And she'd say, "Really sorry, Miss Rice actually can't come to the phone right now. But if you want to sort of leave your inquiry, I think there's something to be said about that."
I could answer as like a posh hello.
You could. What would you say?
I would say, hello, Studio Angie Porter. Yes, sure. I'll get the designs sent over to you right away. Thank you. Bye.
See?
Does that convincing? But now we've done this podcast, no one's going to believe that I've got a system. They're going to know it's me. I don't reckon there's those people.
I think they're a different client base.
Don't tell anyone.
Yeah,
it's our secret. Yeah. I think I'm going to start doing that. Or the other thing, which I think I might do, they might be listening. Well, because I sort of did put it out there. I thought, I really need to get an assistant. And then 2 people this week have offered to be my assistant. So it's sort of like, and I was thinking, well, I could just pay them for 3 hours a week. That would make a difference.
Make a big difference. Yeah. I mean, what is it you need? What is it you really need assistance with? Is it like admin, invoicing type stuff, or marketing?
Marketing and admin. But I mean, the marketing boring bits and the admin boring bits. But I think also it's a mindset. If I just felt like it wasn't just me and I had to do everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, I feel less like that now. I mean, because when I'm quite energized with my work, maybe it's the HRT's working, but I feel less resentful of having to do everything myself at the moment. Maybe that's what the drugs do.
Yeah, I did have a bit of a stroke this week, and I did actually call a friend one evening in temper tears.
Yeah.
Because we'd had one of those evenings and the dog had knocked a glass of wine over. And
yeah.
It's just like, And yeah, I spoke to you after, didn't I?
You did.
But I actually called a friend and I said, you know what? I am absolutely fucking sick of being the only adult in my house.
Yeah, sorry. Oh,
and it was just that moment. I mean, I'm not the only adult in my house.
I know, but it's just a feeling, isn't it? It's all on me.
Yeah. I'm the only one that's responsible for all this thing, including clearing up a glass of red wine that had gone over everything that the dog knocked over, and I wasn't even there, and I don't even drink wine because I'm sober.
Oh no!
So
it's just like another fucking thing. I wrote this poem. I wish I bought it. I could read it. It's on the computer about when someone it's sort of like that, and it's about when someone gives you. How long have we been going for? Maybe we could finish on that.
I reckon we can.
Can we?
Have you got your plan? Where is it?
Oh, can I bring it up on here? Yeah. So can you talk about something?
Yeah.
Bring up my poem.
So this situation with the dog just was a bit, and the poor dog. I did shout at the dog, and of course it wasn't the dog's fault. It's never the dog's fault. It's always our fault. So
pretend you can see yourself.
Yeah. So who knows what face I'm pulling now? Where was I going with this? Yeah, that sort of sense that you're the only one responsible, and that's why it is quite nice sometimes to think you've got an assistant, because that assistant will be the person that can also take some of that responsibility. Really, like my amazing assistant Tamsin, who I used to say to her, do you know what, I think we should do this, and before I knew it, she'd have a whole email list for me and a file and how we can achieve it and who we can use to help us with it. She was just amazing.
She sounds amazing.
She was. I would my goal for the next year. Let's set a goal, because it's a new moon, isn't it?
Let's get assistance.
It's new moon. My goal for the next year is to get to a space whereby I actually can employ and pay for an assistant 3 days a week. That's my goal.
Wow.
That's it. I've said it now.
Awesome. That's a lot, 3 days a week.
That's what I need.
I think women mostly fit full-time jobs into 3 days a week.
Yeah,
I just want to say that.
Yeah.
3 days a week is a full-time job if you've got other shit to do, which most women do, let's face it. Okay, so here's my poem that we're ending with. It's called Descartes Staffordills.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I shop there for I am. So it says, if you buy me flowers, do put them in a vase, the giant cups under the sink in fired clay and glass. Cut the stems and run the water first. Add a spoonful of sugar too. That really helps them last. Take the plastic packaging and fold it up for recycling, because if the flowers are from you, just don't give me more shit to do. Do you know what I mean? When someone gives you flowers, they put them on the table. They're just going to fucking stay there.
So this is what they do. They come home and they say, they know they've upset you, so they think, what can I do? Okay, I'm going to run. I've got to whiz into Waitrose. I'll pick some flowers up. Great,
Just
fabulous.
make the dinner.
So they come in and they go, darling, put your flowers. And then they put them on the side of the kitchen.
That's it. And then you're there, you're folding up the plastic, you're going out in the cold to put the plastic in the recycling.
And then they're saying, they're kind of saying, expecting you at that point to be really grateful. You are grateful, but you know, they expect you to be
something
super
wrong
grateful.
in this picture.
They're
that
expecting,
needs a better solution.
they're expecting you for them to be able to sit down, put the TV on, give them a cup of tea, and spend the rest of the night pandering to them, cooking dinner, clearing up, making sure the kitchen's done, making sure the next day's organised.
Yeah.
All because they bought
I
you.
lock the back door.
All because they bought you a fucking £6 bunch of flowers wrapped in plastic from Waitrose that you've had to do more jobs with.
Get them from Waitrose and they're not from the carnations from the service station.
Well,
ow!
My husband doesn't drive, you see, so he doesn't go anywhere.
Fair enough.
Station.
You can't be ungrateful.
No, I'm not being ungrateful.
Do you know what?
No,
I think the solution to this whole thing is
I love being bought flowers.
You need to buy yourself flowers. Buy them for yourself.
I have 3 rules in relationships.
So many flowers all over the house all the time. Yeah,
3 rules. There are 3 things I want from anyone I'm in a relationship with. Flowers. 3 Fs we call them.
Yeah.
Flowers.
But not fucking carnations from the servo.
Flowers, fragrance and fucks. Sorry to be so blunt.
Oh, really?
That's what I want from a relationship.
Is that all?
I'm afraid that is.
No wonder you're left doing the fucking dishes. Jesus Christ, we're fucked, honestly.
I don't have high expectations.
No.
I don't want to buy my own flowers. I don't want to
easy.
I don't want to buy my own perfume. And I
it's just
occasionally like someone to give me a present.
It's just like it's one click on Amazon. One click and a whatever. And they get just as much out of the third thing that you get out of it. I think we need higher expectations here, Rebecca.
I'm a cheap date.
I feel like we've got a whole series. I didn't seriously.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, it is because I'm never going to get more than that. So let's just leave it there.
Oh, good idea. It's good to have low expectations.
We're going now.
I think we have to go now. Oh my God. Okay. Please leave your comments in the comments. We might have some Daycar. Yeah. I drove to car today.
Yeah. Daycar.
Yeah. All the way to the Anyway, we're going.
Bye.
Yeah. Leave your comments in the comments thing. And let us know whether the 3 Fs is good enough. What you think about that. Thank you. Bye. Okay. We have to press it twice.